I would feel extremely awkward to actually get to the point and would often be worried if what I say would disappoint or hurt people. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I have been wanting to make this video for the past couple of weeks after having tried different permutations and combinations to help me handle my emotions better. I was desperately trying to cope with intense feelings of stress and anxiety that came with this pandemic. And as I was looking for ways to feel better, I came to the realization that this pandemic was causing alarming levels of despair and hopelessness in the population at large. So my intention with this video is to be able to provide coping strategies for anybody who's going through a similar experience as I am. I will be talking about strategies that I have personally tried and tested and have worked for me, and I hope they work for you as well. We all have different kinds of days. Some days can be better than others, and some days can be worse. Maybe you're feeling under the weather. Maybe you're a little stressed out, sore from a workout, or just tired from working too hard. Whatever the case may be, instead of just feeling blah and laying around like a log on the couch, here are some things I suggest doing to feel better, de-stress, and help you get back to your happy, energetic self. The first coping strategy is to remember that you cannot control everything about your environment. Being someone who likes to plan every part of my life, I like to be in complete control of my day. Though planning and charting a schedule does help give structure to your day, there can be 100 reasons why things may not go as planned. For example, you can take real good care of yourself by eating right, working out right, sleeping on time, and doing every possible thing right. But you cannot always prevent an illness. You may get pissed off and wonder, why did this happen to me? I did everything right. But life really doesn't work that way. You have to learn to change what you can and let go of what you can't. Examine your beliefs about what you can control and what you can't. If you believe there's something you can control, find a solution and fix it. But when you can't solve the problem, use healthy coping skills to decrease the intensity of uncomfortable situations or emotions. Go for a walk, engage in a hobby, or just punch your problems away. The idea is to make yourself accustomed to difficult or discomforting situations so that you can build confidence that you're strong enough to handle uncertainty as well as undesirable outcomes. The second coping strategy is to remember that everything is temporary. Absolutely nothing is permanent. There's a really beautiful quote by Buddha which says, "Everything is subject to change. Being is always becoming." Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Everything around us is constantly changing, but remember, for every valley there is a peak. Your journey will not be perfect and you will have some setbacks. Some of them will be devastating, but that shouldn't stop you from believing in yourself and your purpose. While the valley can be gloomy and painful, they enable the peaks to exist and allow us to experience extreme joy and happiness. The third coping strategy is to introspect. Introspection is the key to self-awareness. Self-reflection is the process of understanding who you are, what makes you happy or sad, and why you think and act the way you do. It is a kind of awareness that is applied to you on many different levels, be it physical, mental, emotional, or even spiritual. It's like when you look at the mirror, you can see and describe everything about yourself externally. But when you self-reflect, you reflect inward, and this helps you understand what makes you the person you truly are. However, self-reflection can inflict pain if it becomes obsessive. In such a case, self-judgment takes its place and your inner critics come out. You should instead let self-reflection lead you to growth, positivity, and happiness. Let self-reflection help you shift your mindset so that you can let in more positive thoughts, discover a greater connection to yourself, and live with intention. The fourth coping strategy is to invest in yourself. When I say invest in yourself, I'm not talking about investing once a week or twice a week. Invest in yourself each and every day. And take care of your mind and body. The mind-body connection is extremely important and key when it comes to happiness. In order to bring more positivity in your life, keep them both happy. Take time out on a daily basis to keep a check on your mind as well as your body. Having a never-ending list of tasks and working from the moment you wake up until the moment you fall asleep is not healthy. The human brain wasn't built for extended periods of focus. You need to take regular breaks to be able to work to your complete potential. Doing something enjoyable in these breaks will refresh you and get you back on track. I personally love to work out because it not only de-stresses me and makes me feel happier, but it also makes me feel far more motivated and confident. On days when I'm exhausted, I love a bubble bath as it helps me unwind. Meditating post-work also helps me let go of all my worries. I also try to get sufficient amount of sleep, at least 8 hours, and try to maintain a healthy diet for a healthy body and mind. The next coping strategy is to be able to practice gratitude. Practicing gratitude has been shown to reduce stress, improve self-esteem, and foster resilience even in very difficult times. So earlier when I started maintaining a gratitude journal, I felt like I had nothing to mention in it on a day-to-day basis, like nothing really significant happened in my life to make that activity worthy of being part of my gratitude journal. But eventually, I started writing simple things like watering my plants or just having a good meal. And I realized that I don't have to add any grand activities in my gratitude journal to make it worthwhile. Instead, mentioning simple things helped me understand how grateful I am to actually be able to experience those things in life. Think of people, moments, or things that bring you some kind of comfort or happiness and try to express your gratitude at least once a day. This can be thanking a loved one for washing the dishes, or your dog for the unconditional love that it gives you, or just calling your mom and telling her how much you love her. The next strategy on my list is to surround yourself with the right people and the right information. Spend more time with people who lift you up and celebrate your success, and little or no time with people who try to bring you down and are critical and negative. Remember, your emotional energy is a finite source. Any energy you're investing into a negative relationship is energy you're not putting into a meaningful one. So spend your time with people who lift you up, who have similar goals and values like you do, and who stick by you in happy as well as vulnerable times. Try to spend less time on negative and self-esteem damaging media sources and spend more time on reading positive and constructive material. You could try watching a light-hearted movie, listening to happy upbeat songs, or even listening to a really engaging podcast. The next strategy on my list is to learn to say no. It is as simple as this. You cannot be your most efficient self with too many commitments on your plate. I would feel extremely awkward to actually get to the point and would often be worried if what I say would disappoint or hurt people. But you have to remember that your time is valuable and it's up to you on how you would like to prioritize your time. Be polite and honest about why you can't make it or why you can't do something, and do not apologize. When you say no, realize that you have nothing to feel bad about. You need to set boundaries to be able to be more productive. You have every right to ensure that you have time for things that are most important to you, and that does not make you selfish, rude, or even arrogant. This brings us to my last and final coping strategy, and this is the most important one in my opinion. Do not feel the constant need to conform to the society. Our modern society puts all kinds of ideas into our head that we need to be a certain way or we need to possess a certain luxurious or materialistic thing in order to feel worthy about ourselves. If doing all of these things make you happy, do it by all means. But if all of these things don't really matter to the real you and you constantly feel out of place, please do not conform. Get rid of these ideals and focus on reality and not what you think you should be. Don't be worried that you'll be all alone if you don't conform. Be your true self and the right kind of people will find you. At the end of the day, you're only truly happy when you surround yourself with people who make you feel like home. So with this, we come to an end of this video. Do let me know in the comment section below as to what makes you feel better when you feel low. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you like this video. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.